Hello, everyone. Good evening, and welcome to this class where I'll be teaching you how you can run profitable social media ads as a realtor. I'd like to know how many people are in class this evening with me. So, if you're here right now, I'll just like you to let me know in the comments that you're here by indicating that you're available in class. So I'll just use the next 5 minutes to recap some of the things that I taught in our last class. And this was on Sunday, about 4 days ago. I taught some preliminary things that are quite important when you are trying to run social media ads. For example, I talked about how important the content that you're using to run your ad is. I talked about how important it is for you to plan your ads before you open your ad manager. I talked about the fact that it is what you do before you go to set up your ad is as important as what you do when you're setting up the ad. So in today's class, I am going to be focusing on two things. I've divided this class into two different parts. The first part is the different types of ads, and we're going to go into the ad manager and see how you can set up different types of ads. Number two, I'm going to be teaching you about how to reach out to customers that you have either spoken to in the past, that have clicked your ad, have watched your video. This is what we call retargeting ads, right? So we're coming from targeting completely new customers for the first time. And secondly, we're also going to be talking about how you can retarget customers that have seen you in the past. So now let's get started. So how many people are in class? Let me just do some vanity metrics right now. Look at how many people we have here streaming. We have about 130 people registered for this class, ready to get knowledge, right? So remember that in our first class that focused on how to run ads, I said that when you're preparing to run your ads, you have to run your creative, which is either your video or your flyer, by at least 5 different eyes. This is so important because at the end of the day, you don't want to spend 500,000 naira on a campaign that doesn't make sense. Sometimes you shoot a video and you feel like this is perfect. Whereas if you had run this campaign by 3 to 5 eyes, you would learn the mistakes in the video. You would understand why probably this video would not convert. You would see things from the customer's perspective. I told us in one of our classes that one of the reasons why some realtors do not make sale is because we are too salesy, right? We do not think about the customer. We don't think like the customer. Sometimes, for example, sometimes a customer isn't buying from you because he has not seen enough testimonials. But you're not seeing it from that perspective as a realtor. You're just like, oh, how can I put this out there? How can 50 people reach out to me about this product? And so these are some of the things that we're going to be dealing with in this class today. Now, let's just get started, right? There are about fourth category of ads that you can run on the Meta Ads Manager. I'm just going to start, sharing my screen here, right? So you have engagement ads, you have awareness ads, you have traffic, and then you have sales. And I'm going to just be focusing on some major things, right? Some very major things in this class. Okay, so I have my screen up here right now, right? So if you have an ad manager open, I always would advise that you set up your ads with your laptop if you're using the ad manager. The other day I told you that it's either you're going to boost your post directly on Instagram, which is one of the things that I'm going to deal with, like later in this class, right? But first of all, I want to start with setting up your ads from the Facebook ad manager. First thing you're going to do is you're going to click on create. I'm sure that a lot of you already know this. Now, the first question that you need to ask here is what is the best campaign objective for you to choose if you're running real estate ads right now? And I add the word right now because currently there are a lot of factors that are influencing how you run social media ads. So there is the question of cost, right? 2 years ago, the naira was not as devalued as it is right now, right? So currently, because of the devaluation of the naira, the cost of ads have been affected, right? There is also there's the question of policies. Meta has evolved in the last few years. There are lots of new policies that have come into place. There is the advent of AI. There's introduction of AI to everything. There is the thing about Meta wanting to help creators and businesses to optimize ads better, especially because you know that there is a lot of competition. So right now there's TikTok. People are running to TikTok. There's been LinkedIn all the way, right? And Twitter is pushing too. So remember, I always say one thing: Meta is a business. The same way that you as a realtor is running a business your with your realty business, right? You also need to always remember that Meta is a business. It's not a charity organization. Meta, like AI, is going to produce what you give it. So the question you will ask yourself is, what is the best campaign objective that I will use? And I always say that it depends on what you're doing. But let me tell you right now that one of the best campaign objectives you can use, whether you are running an ad for awareness, for brand awareness, you want customers to just see your face and get to know you, and you're not necessarily trying to convert sales. I mean, as realtors, you're always trying to convert sales, so that's just technicalities, right? Or you're running a campaign for a project that you want to sell immediately. The best campaign that I would advise you to use right now for real estate ads is engagement. Now, let me tell you why. If you're running ads and your campaign objective is either leads or sales, you're going to be spending 2 to 3x the amount that you're going to be spending on engagement ads for almost the same result. Let me say this: when you're running real estate ads, there's really no reason why you're running real estate ads and your link is leading people to your website. Is having a website a good idea? Yes, perfect. But when your leads are seeing you on social media, they don't want to see you go read something on your website. What you want is for them to talk to you, for them to reach out to you, for them to get on a call with you, probably an audio or a video call. So I always advise that you use engagement, the engagement objective, and then maybe you can definitely attach a link to your WhatsApp. Remember, Nigerians love WhatsApp. If you do not take anything from this class, take the fact that Nigerians love WhatsApp, whether it is Nigerians in Nigeria or Nigerians in diaspora. The open rate for WhatsApp versus email is 10-3. So your ads should 90% of the time take people to your WhatsApp. So you use engagement. I understand that you want to generate leads. In generating leads, most of the time, if you send people to your WhatsApp, right, or for them to call you, you're always going to get your leads. The question you might ask again is, how do I pre-qualify my leads if they are just going straight to my WhatsApp? We're going to talk about that in this class. So use the engagement objective, continue, right? And of course, manual engagement campaign. Do your stuff manually so that you can really understand where, if your ad goes wrong anywhere, you can always know what has gone wrong and how you can optimize your ad as time goes on. So we start here, right? Remember that one of the most important things we're going to be teaching in this class is your audience targeting, because that is the game changer. That is what makes the difference in everything, right? So this is a test class, so maybe you can just say test ad May, right? Special categories. This really talks about if you're in certain countries, right, and you're selling real estate, you're required to, show that this is a special ad, right? But in Nigeria, it's not really necessary, so you just move on, right? So you leave this as it is, you switch off the Advantage Plus campaign budget. Now let me explain Advantage Plus, right? Everything you see as Advantage Plus when it comes to running Meta ads is Meta's idea of helping you do better. So you know that Meta is a business, and sometimes people think that running Meta ads is very complex. Remember, Meta is the parent company for Instagram and Facebook right now. So people just always feel like they need specialized knowledge, they need experts, they need this and that to actually do this. So Meta is saying, because I am a business, because I want more people to run ads on my platform, I want more people to give me money so that I can give them data, so that I can give them customers. I want to make everything simple for you. So from your budget to your ad delivery to your audience targeting, Meta is making an attempt to help you. And that's all that you see under your Advantage targeting. So of course, right now, you don't want to be doing A and B tests, right? You just want to go to your ad set here. Let's just name this. The reason why you name your ad set, your ad, your campaigns is because you want to be able to separate one campaign from the other. So remember, your customers are not seeing this, so you can call it anything. None of your clients on social media are going to see the name of your ad. So this particular part that I'm talking about here, what I'm highlighting here, you are the only person that can see it. It's like the back end, right? So you go and then you have to choose the Facebook page that you want this ad to run on. You can click on this button here, this button where my cursor is, and it will just bring up all the pages that are associated with your profile, right? And then, of course, you see when you see ads, when you signed up for this class, you could see like a button below the video that said click to register or something. So this is what it's saying here. Where do you want your message? Where do you want to send people to? Is it to your messenger? So you can click. Usually, I really like to send people to either my Instagram or my WhatsApp or the particular link that I want them to go to, right? So now this is a very important part of this conversation, so pay attention. There's something here we have called performance goal, right? Now, this is simply Meta saying, how do you want to measure the success of this ad, right? So you have certain, options. Two primary options is either you're saying the measure of the success of this ad for me is maximizing the number of conversions or maximizing the number of link clicks. So conversion is a word that means that is associated with the end goal. While link clicks is simply when there is a tap action from the consumer of the content. So conversion is the end goal. You understand when we talk about your funnel as a realtor. So you have, for example, if it's a physical conversation, you say, oh, I walk up to this person, I talk to them about my product, we exchange phone numbers, we chat on WhatsApp, we go to site, right? So conversion is like the end goal. And many times, it really depends on what you're doing. But if it's that you're selling a product, I like to use maximize the number of conversions, right? So you set your budget. Now let's talk about budget. How much is a reasonable amount of money for you to run real estate ads per day? How much is reasonable enough for you to spend on real estate ads? Remember, you're not selling shoes. Remember, you're not selling a flower vase. Remember, you're selling millions of naira, a product worth millions of naira. You're not selling a product worth 20,000 naira, 30,000 naira, 100,000 naira. Maybe the minimum amount for your properties is 2 million, 1 million, 10 million, 20 million. So you must measure this to be able to determine how much you're spending per day, because sometimes when some of us hear the minimum budget that we should spend on ad, it looks like a lot. But the question I must ask you is, how much is your commission? Being a realtor is a business. If you're not willing to invest in this business, you're not going to have success. I always say that no matter where you are, no matter how small you're starting, right? Do not go below $10. Like you're on a very small budget. Your budget is so small. Oh my God, you don't have money. Oh my God, you're just starting this thing. Oh my God, it is your last savings. $10, right? That don't go below it. Why? Because especially when you're starting out. So let me give you an example. When I ran the ads for this class, I did not spend up to 30,000 naira to get 100 leads. I didn't spend up to 30,000 naira. That's because it's a class. I understand that a lot of people might even be joining this class thinking that there is a paid class. There's no paid class. Everything that I'm teaching here is what you'll be paying hundreds of thousands for. There's no paid class. There is no, oh, so you're waiting maybe 30 minutes into the class. I will not be like, oh, if you want to learn this, wait for the paid session. This is the entire class. So you have to follow every part of it. So we say that $10 is too bad. $10. The equivalent of that in naira is what's $10 in naira? Dollar is 1.5. So that's 15,000. So can you go below 15,000? Yes, you can actually. If you go below 15,000, never go below 10,000 per day. So that, and this is the reason, so that you can be able to generate quality leads. Now you're selling real estate. Many times the reason why you're generating leads that are actually not converting to sales is because the leads are useless. Like you're literally just getting leads, people that they'll just click your ad and send you a message. They're not willing to buy. They're not even ready to buy. They're not even interested in buying. So for quality leads, I always just advise that you spend a minimum of $10. But then if you don't have $10 to spend, right, minimum, because I'm also going to talk about the minimum number of days that you should run your ads to be able to determine whether or not you have results, right? So let's do 15,000 naira per day. Right now, oh no, not 150,000, 15,000 naira per day. Now you're going to have a start date, and you can either set your end date or you can allow your ads to run so that you can optimize as it goes. I personally like to set an end date because sometimes the performance of ads, Meta can be funny sometimes, right? Sometimes if you have an end date for your ad, right? Meta waits until maybe the ad is getting to the end. Have you ever noticed that on the last 2 days of your ads, it starts performing way better than the first maybe 5 to 10 days, right? It's just a thing. So I really just, there is no hard and fast rule on this time thing. You can choose to, set an end date or just allow the ads to run. Now let's run because we don't have a lot of time. Now there's something called budget scheduling, and it's something that has just been introduced recently. Like I said, Meta is a business. They are constantly evolving and constantly, improving to see how things can work better. So this is budget scheduling. Now this means that if you're spending 15,000 naira per day, for example, you're telling Meta that I want you to increase my budget spend at certain times of the day and reduce it at certain times of the day. So, for example, you could be saying that, oh, I feel like more of my customers are online in the evening. So, if my spend is 15,000 naira per day, I want you to spend 60% of that budget between 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. Now, personally, right now, I don't really believe in this thing because I feel like people are online at any time. There are people that send me messages at 2 a.m. from my ads. Of course, I don't respond to them at that time, but then that's when they saw it. So just imagine yourself being the customer. You're online anytime. You could just pick up your phone at any time. So I don't really believe in this feature right now. It doesn't mean it doesn't work. Like I said, do your thing, whatever you choose is. Okay, so let's go on to the most important part of this conversation, right? So, audience, right? Audience. I want you to switch to original audience because it's important that you tax your mind. Now, remember, I told you that Advantage Plus applies to so many things: budgets, audience targeting, timing, and everything. Now, when you see Advantage Plus audience, Meta is just saying that I want to help you find the perfect audience for your product. I have tried this once or twice in the past. I probably have an ad that is running on this particular thing because I'm just exploring, but I don't think you want to be using your money to explore, right? So we want to go to like creating an original audience, right? So this is an assignment I'm going to give in this class. Go to, of course, we're going to talk age, right? Go to where you have the detailed targeting for your ad, right? And look at every single option that exists in this thing. And I'm going to show you why. I'm really going to show you why. So location, you could just, remember the other day I was teaching you guys about locations, and let me just say something here about location. I told you the other day that how you determine the location that you're going to set your ad is really determined by the city that this property is located in. If you're selling a property in Abuja, Nigerians from all over Nigeria want to buy properties in Abuja. Why? Because it's the center. So you could be running an ad for a property in Abuja and target people in Imo, Enugu, Akwa Ibom states, Cross River. This is what we call aspirational buyers. Why? Because these people are here. Abuja is here. Everybody looks up to this city. The same with Lagos, right? but you will not have that kind of reception if your property is located in Imo State, for example, and you're trying to target the entire, like all these other states. The only people that will be attracted to your product in Imo State would be people who are either indigenes of Imo State or people who are willing to invest in that. Now, if you're targeting 10 million people, or let me say 1 million people in Lagos State, in certain locations in Lagos State, now, how are you sure that you'll be able to narrow down? Why? Because remember, I told you on Sunday, when it comes to interest targeting, you will find Abuja, you would find Lagos, but you will not find a city like Owerri. You won't find Uyo, you won't find Calabar, and I'm going to show you that, right? So let's just say that your property is in Abuja. Let me show you two different ways that you can target, right? If your property is in Abuja. Now, depending on where this property is, the FCT is a very large, ecosystem, right? So if this property is in Katampe Extension, for example, right, and this property, the lowest barrier of entry for this property is 30 million naira. And this property is nestled in Katampe Extension. You might want to target as per location, right? You might want to target Abuja, right? And then you will now use, remember, you're targeting Abuja as a city. Please pay close attention. As a city, you're targeting Abuja. Now, there's an option here. Look at where I'm clicking right now, where you have this plus 25. This place is your opportunity. Look at what happens when I increase it. It's your opportunity to increase the radius. For you to increase, this is Abuja here, right? But if I increase this, reduce this, you will see that this circle here is going to reduce. See this? If I increase this here, see that circle is going to increase. What you're simply saying is, my target is this particular pin, but I want you to capture these areas around it. I want you to capture these areas around it. So you use this to capture the areas around the principal location that you're targeting in your ad. That is why you could be running an ad for Port Harcourt. But because of this expansion, right? This expansion, you would capture people that are nearest to Port Harcourt as a city. That's, you would have Abia State, some parts of Abia State could be captured in your ad. We're running an ad for you, and some parts of, River State or Abia as a state can be captured in your ad. This is actually very important, and if you know how to use it wisely, it's going to do you well. Secondly, you can say, no, I don't want to target the entire Abuja. I want people who live in certain locations, right, in Abuja. Because I feel like people who live in these locations are going to be interested in buying properties in Katampe Extension. Do not ever forget, I taught you on Sunday that your ad process starts before you open your ad manager. If your property is in a certain location and its price is pegged as a particular price, your audience starts reducing. You start your audience segmentation from the nature of property that you're selling. If you're selling a 2 million naira property in Abuja, you know that you have a bigger market. If you're selling a 30 million naira property in Abuja, your market begins to shrink. So you would say, oh, I want to target Asokoro as a neighborhood. I want to target people who live in Katampe Extension because they are most likely living in, rented apartments, and probably they want to have their own houses, their own land, so they can build their own houses. So you see, Katampe Extension, you see You have so many options, so many options. I am here just targeting, the elite societies, the elite neighborhoods in Abuja, right? So you see, I've put here Asokoro Extension, Guzape. You can put Katampe Extension, and then central business districts where all of these people go to work. Wuse to Gariki to all of these locations. Why? Because of the price point of the property. I hope everybody's together with me. Let me just be sure that you guys are following this class. Let me know if you are following this class. Let me know if you're following this class. Let me know if you're following this class. Great. I just wanted to be sure. So, age. We talked about age on Sunday. And on Sunday, I said that because of the advent of three distinct industries. Number one, the crypto market. Number two, the forex market. And number three is the people we call the creative industry, our brothers in the tech market. Before, people would say, oh, it's people above 25 that can buy real estate. But right now, because of crypto, forex, and tech, we have now decided that it is intelligent, it's a highly intelligent for you as a realtor to begin to target people below 25, because even 22-year-olds are buying properties right now. So again, it goes back to the value of the property that you're selling. A 22-year-old person might be able to buy a property of 5 million naira, but might not be able to buy a property of 70 million naira. So again, it goes back to the particular property that you're trying to set up this ad for. So, but for the purpose of this class, I'm going to keep my age at 22, and I'm going to keep my maximum age. This is your minimum and this is your maximum. I'm going to keep this at 45. Again, on Sunday, I said that when it comes to the real estate market, the buyer persona, the end buyer for us over the years, men versus women, is about 80 to 20. It's a terrible number, of course. Women are beginning to buy properties more, but realistically, it's 80 to 20. Maybe in the last 1 year, it has now come up to 70 to 30. But of course, you can do your research. So, but I do not like to discriminate. Why? Let me tell you this. Running ads is not just about who sees your ad and buys. Your ad could show up to a wife who shares your ad to her husband, who reaches out to you. Your ad could show up to a husband who reaches out to his wife to take permission on whether or not he should buy the property. That's why I do not choose whether or not it's men or women, except I am running my ad for certain types of properties. Every single thing, important lesson here, listen. Every single decision you take when it comes to running your ads is highly dependent on the particular property that you're selling. So the principles that you apply per ad differ. There are some ads that you're going to run for properties that you just say, I beg, let me just run this ad to men. Or let me just run this ad to women. For example, if it's International Women's Month and you have a special offer for women, you could do something like that, right? So this is the beauty, the creme de la creme of this class: interest targeting. There are three very important things that you need to understand when it comes to detailed targeting. Three very important lessons that I need to teach here. Where's my iPad? Number one is demographics. Number two is interest. And number three is behavior. Now, I want you to take the next 3 days. Open your ad manager. You see this place this thing I'm just highlighting here, this browse option. I want you to go through every single option that Meta offers you. Over time, of course, I'm going to give you some in this class. I'm going to give you some, like, I'm going to give you bonus audience. Like, even if you have never run ad in your life, you want to run your first ad, this is how to stack your audience. This is how to layer your audience. I'm going to give you in this class. But if I give you this and say, go and use this for your first 2 ads, your first 3 ads, and you see success, do not stop there. The glory of being a realtor is in your ability to study the market. And this includes studying the tools that help you reach the market. So I'm going to teach you this right now. Remember, this is first time targeting now. We are still coming to retargeting. You're running an ad in Abuja for a property that is priced at 20 million naira, right? The first question is, Meta, who is my ideal audience on Instagram? Your ideal audience is, first of all, someone who is looking for estate land to buy. So what do? You type estate. Let's see what comes up. I have never run an ad in my life, right? So you see estate agents, real estate as an industry, estate law. Wow, we have estate land. And generally, it has an audience of 61 to 72 million, to 72.7 million. This is like all of the data that, Meta has on this audience. So you click it because, of course, it's relevant to what you're selling. So I've given you audience 1. Whether you're selling a property in Abuja, you're selling a property in Asaba, you're selling a property in Lagos, estates in bracket land is a relevant audience, especially when you're selling land, right? And then look at what's going to happen here. When you click on estate land, right? Meta is a very intelligent platform. Remember, these guys invest billions of dollars every year to improve their system for you to be able to find your audience so that you can keep paying them to run ads. What are the suggestions that we have here? Landlords, real estate, lands and houses, real estate investing, real estate industry, land in bracket places. You have property finder, first time buyer, real estate, house, real estate development, investor. Now, most of these suggestions come to me because I use some of them very often. Let me give you the difference in some of them, and that is why this class is special. When you target real estate as an industry, right? Where is real estate? Where it has industry. That's option number 2. You see how wide this audience is. 424 million. Now, let me tell you, it says in the description, Meta says people who have expressed interest in or liked pages related to the real estate industry. Guess what? This includes developers. This includes realtors like yourself. Most of the times my point here is this is a very dicey audience for you to use, because sometimes if you don't layer other interests, you don't layer it well with this interest option, you end up running ads to fellow realtors and real estate developers. So you just find that people are liking your ads a lot, maybe because your video is really good. They are saving your ad because they want to replicate the ad. Remember, there are hundreds of thousands of realtors in Nigeria right now. The market is very unregulated. So you'll be so happy that people are saving your ads, liking your ads. Some of you are so obsessed with vanity metrics, especially likes, comments. Oh, this is so nice. Have you ever run an ad where you spent 100,000 and all you got so many comments? Oh, best ad I've seen, nice ad. People are saving the ad, people are liking the ad, but you are not getting quality leads in terms of potential clients. That's because sometimes the problem is that your ad is showing up to industry players. So this is a great option, but trust me, if you don't layer it well, you end up wasting your money. The only time when you should be really using real estate industry as, an interest targeting option, for me, in my own opinion, many times is when you're doing trainings. So you're trying to reach realtors for trainings. You're a developer, you're trying to onboard more realtors, you're trying to get more realtors to sign up to your network or something, but not really when you're trying to sell. So what is another relevant option that we can say, right? People who want to buy land are very interested in investment, right? So there is an option we see as return on investment. People who have money sitting in the bank and they are just constantly thinking of return on investment. Remember I said on Sunday, and I am going to sit down and I'm going to re-record the Sunday class because a lot of the things that I taught on Sunday connects to today's class. I said something on Sunday and I said you need to constantly be in the client's mind. You need to be able to think like a client. So how does Meta gather data that they give you when you want to run your ads? It's basically from, what people are doing when they are with their phones. It's what people are searching on Facebook, on Instagram, every platform that they are on. It's the conversations that they are having with their wives, their partners, their business partners, their staff. That is why you could literally be talking about shawarma and then you open your app and then shawarma shows up. That is why I am teaching you how to do your targeting right, so that the moment people are talking about buying land in your city and they open their Instagram, you show up on their page at the very right time and they can buy, right? So when we go to the investment option, you're not talking about investment consultant. No, because you're not targeting investment consultants. You're not selling a service to them. But then people who are interested in business and finance pages are usually, more attuned to investing, right? Number one. So take that as an option, right? You see investments manager, investments banker, investments specialist, investment banking. That is an option, but the data is very small, right? Now you go down. Let me really type the full thing that I wanted here. Return on investment. So you see this return on investment. What do you have in your brackets there? It's investing. So that's a perfect audience for you. Now we are in a digital world, and 80% of Nigerians who use smartphones these days use internet banking. So I'm going to give you a very important audience. Type the word banking. Let's see the options that you get. So you see online banking. Banking in brackets, finance would usually capture a lot of people that work in the banking sector. So probably if you have a project that has a spare payment option that is suitable for bankers, people who are associated with the banking industry, you see investment banking, and then you see what? Retail banking. These options would capture a great amount of audience for you, especially in Nigeria. So remember, I told you audience layering, and I'm going to show you an example of 5 audiences that you can layer, right? So let's just move on. Let's just move on quickly, right? So you take that. I was going to teach you something very important when I said that you should study this, right? Before I just show you the other. So you see that I said that there are 3 very important areas that you need to consider when you are setting up your detailed targeting, right? You have demographics, you have interest, and you have behavior. So let's say, what is demographics? When we talk about demographics, we are saying what is the client's internal or external personnel. What makes up this client apart from their behavior, apart from their interest as a person? So you're talking educational background, you're talking their earning brackets, you're talking their life events, you're talking about the relationships that they have in their life. See, it is why you can be planning your girlfriend's proposal and you start seeing um proposal rings pop up on your Facebook and Instagram. You start seeing rings, you start seeing wedding decor, you can be planning for your wedding and all of a sudden wedding gowns are just showing up. It's because people are using your data to actually, I'm going to show you an example. Let me show you something very shocking. Do you know that people can target you based on, you can even target people based on their birth month? Look at this. So under the demographics here, you have education, educational level. You can target people based on their educational level. So if you were selling a course, for example, and this course was only for you to target people who have a BSc or who recently got a master's degree, right? You can do that. Is Meta not just amazing? I love Meta with my life. I am so grateful to Mark forever and ever. The last 5 years of my life, 4 years, yes, the last 4 years, this 2025. So the last 5 years of my life have been so amazing. Thanks to Meta, because I have been running ads for the last 5 years of my life. Educational level, field of study, you can search what people studied here, right? Even the schools they attended, but this really applies more to schools that are very organized. You can even see schools. There's University of you, people are interested in school, right? You wonder how the people are able to target with all those jam classes and all of that. This is how they get it. Now, we say life events, right? Look at this. We have anniversary within 30 days. So if you were creating an offer that fall within a really romantic time of the year, say February, right? And then you wanted to tailor that offer just to people who are married and celebrating their anniversary. If they have indicated that in their Facebook or Instagram profile, you can target them using this. Anniversary within 30 days, anniversary within 31 to 60 days. I'm going to show you guys very amazing stuff today. Look at birthday. If people have birthdays coming up, if their birth month is this month, you can target them, put them within, your audience. Look at this. Friends of men with birthdays, blah, blah, blah. There's so much. There is just so much. Look at this. This is why I said you should sit down and study all of these audiences so that you can actually decide. I know a lot of you do not know that this kind of data exists online on Meta, but Meta is so amazing. We should all be grateful to Mark, right? Look at this. Look, just newly engaged people that got newly engaged within the last 3 months, 6 months, newly wedded couples within the last 1 year, 3 months. So much. There's just so much. And then you have like employers, job titles, which are very, very important. Now, one of the things I'm going to teach you is that when you're setting up your ads, you can exclude people. Sometimes I deliberately like to exclude people who are realtors from my ads so that they do not waste my money. Like I said, many times fellow realtors are going to like your ads and they're going to save it so that they can replicate. The pro to other realtors seeing your ad is that you build your portfolio within the industry, you build your authority within the industry. And then, of course, as you know, this industry is highly based on referral. So a realtor could see your ad and really like you and then reach out to you because they have a client who has been looking for something like that. which they do not have, and then you will just get that sale done, right? So let's go on. Now that's demographics, right? That's so much. So you see work, you see employers under industries. Can you see large business to business employees? You see people who work in um, agriculture, architecture, business decision makers. These are some of the people that you target sometimes, depending. Sometimes it can be quite tricky. Now let's just go down. There's just so much. There's so much audience targeting. If you're not getting your audience targeting right, it's because you're lazy. And I don't know why you're a realtor if you're a lazy person, right? So you have to be willing to do the work. You see, you even have healthcare workers, people in the if you have products that have spread payments options or mortgage plans, these demographics, targeting option will be very, very useful to you. So I'll just run because we don't have a lot of time. Now let's go to interest and let me show you something. You see, interest, you have business and industry, you have people who are interested in advertising and marketing. When I set up the ad for this class, this is one of the audience that I targeted, people who are interested in advertising and marketing. And you see people are interested in construction, design, entrepreneurship, management. I mean, it is amazing. You see real estate as an industry, everything that I was talking to you about, family and relationships. Take your time to study this audience. You're not going to be able to finish it in one day, but if you can give every day, if you can sit down with Meta Ad Manager for 15 minutes every day for 30 minutes, you will forever be grateful to this class. The next one I want to show you guys, which is so important to this class, is behaviors. Behavior is so important. With behavior, we are saying, Meta, I want to target people based on their behavioral patterns. By behavioral patterns, in terms of example, the kind of devices that they use to access the internet, their shopping, how they shop online, their activities when it comes to engaging with people. There's just so much. So let me show you guys an example of this. Look at this that I'm just clicking right now, purchase behavior. Do you see that you have an option called engaged shoppers? People who run e-commerce ads are the odogu of using this targeting option. Why? Because this option says, I want my ad to show up to people who have clicked the call to action button that says buy now or something related to it, or shop now, buy now or shop now. You can see that in the description. As part of behavior, online behavior, one of our biggest audience, right, as real estate marketers on social media. Two things. This is a bonus I'm giving you here. You see frequent international travelers. They are a major audience for you. You see frequent travelers. So there's a difference between frequent travelers and frequent international travelers. Frequent travelers are people who travel often. Could be within Nigeria. Don't overlook them. Anybody, flight is currently 100 and something thousand. People are traveling 10 times a month. So, this is part of your audience. So return from trips. There's just, if I stay here, we will not finish today. So you see that I just layered a few audiences here, right? And we're just going to go. So basically, when you're done, you click on this button here, which says save audience. You save your audience. When you click here, it's going to ask you to name your audience. So you can say, oh, this is my May test, right? And you just see that the location is Asokoro. The age is 22 to 45, people who match this, and then I switched off the Advantage Plus audience option, and then you just save this and you move forward. Now, there's something that I want to show you guys right now, right? And this is just so important. This is so important. Sorry, can I get my laptop? Sorry. Okay, so this is so important. When it comes to placement, the next part that you want to move to is your placement, right? And people always ask, should my ads run on Facebook and Instagram at the same time? And my answer is always, it really depends on your budget. If your budget is slim, if you're spending below 10,000 naira, right? Because some people are going to ask me right now, what if I do not have 15,000 naira per day and I want to run my ads for 10 days? The minimum number of days I advise you to run your real estate ads is 10 days. Trust me on this. I'm going to tell you guys to put these things into practice, and the community lead is always going to get feedback. I want to set up ad, and then I want to get your feedback. Now, I might not be able to give you that audience layering option in this class. Is going to get it immediately after the class. I'm going to share it with the community lead, and she's going to share it with everybody, right? Now, 5 audience is what I'm going to share. My network. Platform at a time. So it's either you're running your ad on Instagram or you're running your ad on Facebook. There's something I want to quickly show you guys here just before I move on. And this is, so you see, this is like your ad manager, your audiences. This is something I really want to quickly show you guys, right? Your audience retargeting option is something I want to show you. It's something I want to show you. Every single person that has come across your content in the last 365 days deserves to see you one more time. Deserves to see you one more time. I can tell you 2 things for a fact. Number 1, video ads convert 100 times more than flyers. If you're not a developer, stop running your ads with flyers. Run your ad with videos. Except your ad is a retargeting ad. Do not run your ad with flyers. Run them with video. It is only when you're running a retargeting ad that you can. I do not even advise it, but I'm saying can because I'm saying, okay, it's possible, right? So I always advise you to run your ad with videos. Show your face in your videos. If you are ashamed of showing your face in your videos, real estate is not for you. Go and look for something else to do. People need to be able to see your face in your ad so that they can connect with you. If people have ever connected with you, if they've ever seen your ad, they've watched your video, they've clicked on your ad, they've called you, they've reached out to you, they deserve to hear from you this second quarter. And that's what I want to show you how to do, how to do that right now in your retargeting ad, right? So this is, if you can see my screen right now, this is create audience. You click on this button here, create audience. Is to show custom audience, lookalike audience. Click on the word custom audience, and I'm going to show you something very powerful here. If you have a customer list, if in the last 3 months 200 people have reached out to you and said, I'm interested in buying your property, but they have not bought yet, click on this option and upload their numbers so that Meta can retarget them for you. Customer list. Now, when you click on this and you click on next, right, it's going to ask you to add your account to a business, and then you're just going to choose a business to do that. So let me just choose like one of my businesses here, and um it's going to ask me to add to business, right? It's loading, loading. Hold on, let me get back there and recreate that again. So I think I'm having a little bit of network. Can you just let me know if you can hear me in the comments? I want to know that you guys are following me. Let me check this out on my end to be sure that you guys are following me in this class, right? All right. Just let me know that you're following me in the comments. Okay, great. I think I have gotten two people tell me that they are following me very clearly. Good. All right, so I want to show you something very, very powerful here. I want to show you something very powerful here. So when we say a custom audience, we're saying that Meta is giving you the opportunity to connect with customers who have had some sort of contact with you. So I'm going to explain everything. If you have a website, you can target people who have visited your website, whether in the last 7 days, in the last 30 days, 365 days, right? Now, you would always wonder why you visit a website and the moment you leave that website, the ad from that company just keeps visiting you. This is where it's coming from. This is where it is coming from. You would wonder why you will click on somebody's Instagram page. Just maybe it's a mistake. You just see their video on your explore page, and then you just click on their Instagram page, and all of a sudden they're following you everywhere. This is where it is coming from. Or you would say, okay, I watched someone's video. The video was so nice, and then the guy was just talking about how to create ads, how to do social media ads, and the moment you leave that video, you close your phone. When you come back to Instagram, the guy's video is pursuing you everywhere. This is where it's coming from. If you fill the form, an on-screen form, right, to join a program, and then right from that moment on, whatever action you have taken on a website, on someone's page, this is app activity. You wonder why you use certain apps, and because of that, they just keep pursuing you. It's because of this. It's because of this app activity. So you see why I tell you guys that I am so grateful to Uncle Mark. He has made life so beautiful for us as marketers. Marketing is a game of numbers, and Mark is giving us the data to play this game of numbers perfectly. So I told you that you could upload your customer list with this option. That's option one. If you have customers that have, if you have potential clients, right, or people who have bought from you in the past, and then you want them to see the new products that you're marketing. So you have reached out to them on WhatsApp, but then they are not very responsive, and then you don't want to get very pushy, because you know that's one of the rules of this game. You don't want to get very needy, looking very needy and all that. Now, also, if people have, you know, visited your Instagram account. Let's use the Instagram account for an example. So you're going to click on next, right? And it just says, see this. What is the source of this data? My Instagram account, Esther Rock. Events. The question is, what metrics do you want us to use to pursue these people? Because we are pursuing these people for you back to back. So it's saying account center. It's saying people who engaged with this professional account, people who visited this professional account's profile. You have people who sent messages to this professional account, and then account center again, people who saved posts, saved or shared your post, right? Now, if you don't have a lot of followers, I always advise that you use people who engaged with this professional account. So here you have people who who have taken an action on your account. For example, what kind of actions are we talking about here? People who liked, people who commented, people who saved, or people who swiped your carousel or tapped a button. Remember, a button here may be a button on your ad, like going to your WhatsApp, visiting your website, filling a form on your page. Whatever action it is that these guys took, right? You see that this option is all encompassing. Unlike this one just says people who messaged you. So if, for example, in the last 30 days, it's only 20 people that have messaged you, that audience is too small for you to be spending money on, right? So you want to be able to maximize your ad budget. That is the thing that I always say. Maximize your ad budget. So I'm going to choose this option that says everyone who engaged with this professional account, right? Everyone who engaged with this professional account. Look at this powerful thing that Uncle Mark gave us again. Audience retention. What is audience retention? Audience retention is simply saying the timeline within which you want this data to show, right? Remember, I said you can target people who have taken action on your account as far back as 365 days, right? So if this person, if you have a lot of profile visits, a lot of engagement on your page, right, you can do 30 days. Especially because if you're looking for hot leads for a particular project. So let's say you've been marketing a particular project in the last 60 days or 30 days, and then you spent a lot of money on ads. A lot of people have visited your profile. A lot of people have commented on your post. A lot of people have saved your posts on that thing. A lot of people have shared and liked. You can use a shorter period, like 30 days, right? Now, you can include more people or exclude more people. You can exclude an action. See this. You can exclude an event. Sorry. Let me just plug in my laptop. So you can exclude an event. For example, you can say, I want to exclude people who have sent me a message. See this. You can exclude people who have sent you a message. So you can say, I don't want this ad to be shown to people who have sent me a message in the last 30 days. I only want people who have taken all the other actions. Or I don't want people who have, what's the other thing you can exclude? Usually I don't really exclude anything. I just want, because I mean, if you're under 1 million, if your profile has not reached 1 million people in the last 1 month, I don't really advise you to exclude anything. Let it go to everybody. Let it, see, you should be pursuing people like your village people. The same way your village people are pursuing people in this life, that's how you should be pursuing them with your ads. People should be seeing you in real life and saying, please, Esther, please, I'm going to buy that land. Please. And literally, people have told me this in real life. Like, sometimes I have gone to church, right? And somebody walked up to me and said, Esther, please, can your ads stop following me? Please, I will buy. That is how you know you're doing this thing right. That's how you know that you're doing this thing right. You need to pursue people till they take action. Now, they might not buy immediately, but remember, real estate is a long-term game. So if people say, oh, I'm tired of seeing this guy. In Abuja right now, there is a guy whose billboard is everywhere, Promised Land. Because his billboards are everywhere, that is enough marketing already. So after a period, you can say, okay, let me leave this audience. Let me allow them breathe for 60 days, and then you come back again. So when you choose your audience retention, remember I said that if you don't have a lot of followers and you don't have a lot of engagement, especially if you're just beginning to run your ad, I really advise you to use 365 days here, right? So that you can capture enough audience for you. And the truth is, the reason why you're not seeing create audience here is I haven't imputed the name. So you're just going to name this audience. Let me say Instagram retargeting, right? Targeting. You're just going to name that Instagram retargeting. There's no need for description. And what will you do? You would create audience, right? And it's as simple as that. Create audience, and it's just going to create that audience for you there. Now, there is something, my screen is loading. There's something that I want you guys to see here. When you create your custom audience, I always advise you to immediately create your lookalike audience. Now, your custom audience is made up of people who have taken action on any of your platforms already. People who have messaged you, people who have seen you before. Now, a lookalike audience, as the word says, is an audience that looks like your custom audience. So you're saying, I want you to create an audience that looks like my custom audience for me. Now, for this, I always advise you to generalize, choose the entire Nigeria, right? Don't try to limit it to the states. And then this, you see this thing you're saying percentage, 2%, 3%, 4%, 5%. Now, a 1% lookalike audience consists of people most similar to your audience. This thing is the percentage of, you're saying, increase this, you're increasing this by the percentage of people that look like your audience. If you increase this thing beyond 2%, I personally believe that you might encounter a lot of errors. I feel, just personal opinion here, the lower it is, the lower the number, the lower the potential for you to have a lot of mistake in the data. So I advise you to keep it at 1%, right? If you're very ambitious, you take it to 2%, but I mean, if your budget is not a lot, leave it at 1%. You see that here, your estimated reach is 571,000 people. You're going to click on create audience, and it is going to create your lookalike audience for you. Now, something very important, very interesting is going to happen here. This thing is going to populate, right? That just means that it is gathering the data. So usually I just tell you to allow this for 24 hours before using that audience for you to get the maximum result out of it. Allow it for 24 hours. it's not there's no rule around it. Like I told you, a lot of things that I'm telling you in this class is maybe born out of my personal experience, and then things that just I feel like just works better, right? So I'm going to show you something again in custom audience. If you have videos on your page that have performed very well, what by this I mean you have some videos that have gone viral, you have some videos that you have used to run ads that have done so well. And then because of how, when I say so well, these videos have gotten a lot of saves, they've gotten a lot of shares, they've gotten a lot of comments, likes, engagement. You might want to you might want to show up on the screen for those people one more time. So you choose an engagement type. You see, people who have viewed at least 3 seconds of your video, not very substantial for me. People who have viewed at least 10 seconds of your video, not very substantial for me. Now, I like to use people who have viewed at least 25% or 50% of my video. Why? Because I make a lot of sense in my videos. So I believe that people who view 50 to between 25 and 75% of most of my videos, when they see them, are actually an audience that I would like to retarget. So remember, you can create as many custom audiences as possible. So with this, I'm just going to create an audience with people who have viewed at least 25% of my video. So you would always wonder why you would see somebody's video once, and after that one time, oh my god, this person is literally pursuing you to your dreams. This is how it happens. So you see that I have chosen that. Again, the audience retention period. When it comes to videos, I like to be more specific, like I like to be more recent. So I'll most likely be choosing 60 days here so that I can get a better view of the audience, right? I'll most likely be choosing 60 days. So here I'll just say 25% audience, 60 days, right? So there's something here that I haven't really chosen. So when you save 25% or at least 25% of your videos, Meta is going to ask you to choose the particular videos that you're referring to, and this is one of the most beautiful features I like in custom audience. So you see that it's just going to ask me to, choose the particular videos, because there are some of my videos that have much more views and engagements than others, and then there are some of my videos that really talk about the particular projects that I'm trying to sell. So I have this video that currently has 6,000 views. I have this video that currently has 10,000 views. This is one of the products I'm selling right now, one of the projects that I'm selling right now. So, and those are like the two videos. Remember, I chose 60 days. So I would confirm this, right? And then I'm going to create the audience. You see that 10,000 people have viewed one of my videos. The other one, 6,000 people have viewed it. And because of that, I'm going to be able to retarget, like I'm going to be able to run an ad to those 10,000 and 6,000 people. Because they have watched at least 25% of one of these videos, they are going to see me again on their screen, right? So that's, now, the question is, can I create a look-alike of that particular audience that I just created? Yes, I can. So I can decide to create a look-alike of that audience, and I'm just going to use 1%, but I do not want to create a look-alike of that audience. So remember, I told you we are selling real estate. The three most important look-alike custom audiences that I love to use are: one, customer list, right? Number two, Instagram and Facebook page. I categorize this as one because Instagram, Facebook page is page. So I list that under number two. And number three is video, because I told you, videos sell real estate more than any other thing. Videos sell real estate more than flyers. So it is either I am relying on my customer list, people who have reached out to me in the past. See, if you do not have an Excel sheet where you track your audience, right? If you do not have an Excel sheet where you track your potential clients, you are doing the wrong thing. Let me give you a very simple trick tonight. Every single person, go to your Google Drive, go to Excel, right, on the cloud. Create a sheet that says potential customers or leads. My first quarter leads, my second quarter leads, my leads for the month of May. Remember, I said that your conversion rate is below 5%. So if your goal is to sell to 5 people, you should be marketing to 100. You should be talking to 100. That means if your goal is to make 5 sales within the next 3 months, you should at least have spoken to 100 people by the next 2 months, right? So your customer list, I told you that you should go to Excel, your Excel sheets, create a list, and every single time that somebody reaches out to you, 3 things you're going to do on that list. You're going to write the exact date that they reached out in column number 1. Number 2, you're going to impute their phone number. Number 3, you're going to impute their names if you know their name. Number 4, you are going to impute what the conversation is and where that conversation is. If you implement this thing, you would be so grateful to me for life that I told you this today. Make sure that you have an Excel sheet that shows you exactly, that highlights your lead acquisition process and the conversations that you have with all of your clients. Now, it is that list that you can impute into this customer list. Look at this option. It is this list that I'm talking about. If you don't have a list, if you have sometimes you just have customers that have been reaching out to you, that reached out to you last year, they did not buy, you gave up. Why are you giving up when you're selling real estate? If you are selling real estate, a lead, I believe each of your leads in real estate should last at least 24 months. At least a minimum of 24 months. You should be following up on someone for a minimum of 24 months. That's why if somebody has ever reached out to you to buy a property from you and they didn't end up buying, you should never, why are you deleting their number? Why are you so emotionally immature? This is real estate. It's a long-term game. So make sure that your customer list, at least by now, if you have been doing real estate for 6 months, I don't expect you to have a customer list of less than 300. So you can use it to do your audience, right? So you see that I've set up a few custom audiences. I have taught you how to retarget. Now, so how do you use that custom audience in setting up an ad? I'm going to show you something really powerful right now. I have a few minutes to round up this class, right? So you just click, let me show you how to set up a retargeting ad using these custom audiences that we just created. I already have some custom audiences in my ad manager, so I'm not really relying on the audience that I just created right now. Why is my network slow? Okay, so let's just wait for it to load. We're all here. If you're getting value from this class, just let me know in the comments that you're getting value. I like to know that you guys are following the class. I like to know that you're getting. So we are back to creating an ad. So we'll click on engagement ad. We're just going to click on engagement ad. Click on continue. right? Manual engagement campaign. Tap, tap, tap. You're going to do everything the same way that we did it. You go to next. Where your custom audience is actually relevant is in your ad set when you're setting up your, your audience, right? So you're just going to come down here. You're going to come down here, and where you have advantage audience, just right here, advantage audience, you're going to switch to original audience, right? Instead of using an advantage audience, you're going to switch to your original audience. Now, when you get to this original audience, can you see this? Very powerful custom audiences. Can you see this? Yes. So custom audiences, you're going to click here. Can you see my custom audience here? Look at my Instagram retargeting. This is my custom audience. So you click here, and this just means that your ad, so you can use lookalike, you can use, usually I like to use the ones that are relevant to the particular ad. Every time you create a custom audience, you must know the particular page that you're creating it. So if you're someone that manages a lot of pages like me, right? You see, I have a lot of custom audiences. You can see my screen. You see, I have, as you all know, I have a lot of brands, and I run my brand ads myself because I have a very strong background in social media marketing. So you see here that I have my lookalike audience. Oh my God, Nigeria just happened. My solar just went off. So I have the engagement option here, right? I've already switched off. I've already said Nigeria's my.
Can turn off your camera now.
Okay, so I'm sorry about that. There's actually a blackout in Uyo, and I didn't want a lot of noise, so I've been using my solar right now. Okay, so I'm sorry about the solar has given up on life. We're just going to move on. So you see that I have lookalike audience here. I just want to be sure. If you're following me, just let me know in the comments that you are following me. So you see that I have a lot of lookalike audiences here, right? I've just chosen these two, and you're just going to move on, and you're going to leave this at Nigeria, and then you're just going to go ahead to select your placement. Now, when it comes to placement, just like every other thing, manually place your ads. Do not use Advantage Plus placement, because sometimes you want to exclude some things, and I'm going to show you one or two things that you might want to exclude. So here you see feed, Facebook profile feed, Instagram profile, Facebook marketplace, all of this. Now sometimes I like to unselect some of these options and just allow my ad show up in the places that I want it to show up. For example, most times I don't even allow my ad show up in Messenger inbox, right? So sometimes I just only want my ads to show up on feeds. So I just allow my ads to run on feeds and maybe the search bar. So when you do all of that, you go to your next option, and then this is where you set up your ad creative. You show just like every other one, you edit the name of your ad, right? And then you're going to have to select ad setup. Here you have two options. It's either you create ad or you use existing content. You use existing content, it means that it's going to tell you to select, and that's what I want to show you now. See, it's just telling me to select one of the content that I have on my page. That's not what I want. I want to use the create ad option to be able to set up an original. So if it's just one video or a flyer, which I don't remember, I'm against flyers. If it's just a video, you're going to select this. If it's carousels, so now you know that right now Facebook and Instagram allows you to have videos as carousels. So that means that you can actually use videos as your carousel. So you come here and then click on add cards, and then you click on add video cards, and then you just select the particular two videos that you want to add. And then when you're done with that, all of that is going to show up here. I'm sorry guys, I need to bring this class to a close right now. Just after this class, there are 30 people on this call right now. I am going to ask so after this class, this is what I want you to do. First thing, if you're not subscribed to this channel, this class is absolutely free, right? What can you give me in exchange? I'm saying subscribe to this channel and like this video right now. Subscribe to this channel and like this video right now. Secondly, immediately after this class, the phone number that sends you the link to this class, just type, please send me the audience targeting options, the 3 combo audience targeting options, which I'm going to send to her tonight to send to the 30 people that are in this class right now. Well, this is how far I can go today. Like I told you guys on Sunday, running ads is a really extensive thing. Tomorrow I'm going to do something tomorrow. I'm going to show you how you can boost your ads directly on Instagram, and I'm going to upload it on YouTube for you guys to watch, because I wasn't able to teach it live on this class. This class was supposed to last for 2 hours, but I'm just going to have to end it right now. So if you got value from this class, let me know in the comments. I'll be very happy to read from you. I'd like to hear your feedback. If you have any questions, send it to the phone number that sent you the link to this class. On Sunday, I am going to teach the part 3 of how to run meta ads. The last part of this class, I'm going to teach it on Sunday by 7 p.m. This Sunday class is going to be by 7 p.m. This has been such an amazing series. I started teaching this class on Sunday. I taught for an hour 30 minutes. Today I have taught an hour 33 minutes. It has been value packed. And it's been so nice to be on here with you guys. So this is where we call it a night. I'll see you guys on Sunday at 7 p.m. Shalom.